Hello everyone. So today we are going to create a HTTP client. Okay. So I've made this really beautiful here canvas over here. So let's just get into it. Okay. So I was searching on subreddit, on a subreddit, like if someone has asked what a HTTP client is, and fortunately, and someone really truly has asked what a HTTP client is. Okay, so let's understand what he has asked first. Okay, so he has asked what exactly is a HTTP client, and he has added some of his things which he has learned from. Okay, and his info is wrong, so let's just read it. According to what I had researched, in programming, a client is an entity that requests a service from another entity. For example, when we use our PC to enter Reddit, we are a client that communicates with the Reddit server. So to be honest, it's not right. Okay, let's just understand. So in comment, someone has gladly corrected him. Okay, so the user isn't a client. The application is. A HTTP client is an application that communicates with a web server using the HTTP protocol. For example, our browser is a HTTP client. The Reddit mobile app is a HTTP client. A web scraper is a HTTP client, and so on and so forth. So he has explained really nicely, and it's really good. Okay, so today what we are building is something similar to what browser uses in its backend. So let's understand. So it's Wagyu, right? So when we use our browser and we type, let's say, gigs4gigs.org, so our browser, the DNS server sends request on that web server, and then returns the response to the browser, and then our browser shows the output, the HTML output which it gets. But behind the scenes there are a lot of things that happens. Okay, we create a connection, our browser creates a connection, not we actually, and it sends requests, then it receives bytes in chunks, and it understands those bytes, like what's the status code, whether it has told me to redirect to some new page, whether it has told me to store the cookie or not, and all that stuff. So we are going to create exactly that thing what the browser uses in its backend. But not only that, okay, today we are going to understand how huge projects gets created. Okay, like let's say Linux or any other huge project which you will be creating in the future. It's not gonna be like that you thought of some random good project, a random huge project, and you'll go into VS Code, start your create your main.py file and start writing. It's not going to be like that. It's not going to be like that. Okay, you have to do certain calculations, certain amount of planning in order to get there first. So that's what we are going to build from the very beginning. Okay, it's not going to be a course, it's not going to be a paid, obviously. It's totally free. I just want to teach something to people, and not just teach. I also want to learn myself as well. Okay, along with teaching. So let's get into it. Let's do the planning first. So if you're wondering what this is my obsidian vault. Like I would have showed you like the left side of it, but it's sort of a personal vault. So not let's not go into that. Okay. So the thinking should be how our application is going to work, but here, something which we are not going to do is understand before creating a certain project. You have to understand, you have to do some research about it, like how it will work and all that stuff. Okay, and then you will start creating your own planning. Okay, so here we are. I'm using Obsidian for the planning stuff and Canvas, Obsidian Canvas. So let's start with the planning. So first thing we are gonna get is an input from the user. It's going to be a URL, and later we may be getting a method from the user as well. A method is something like get, post. Get is like we want to get information. Post means like we want to update something or we want to put something like that. Okay, uh, there you go. So first thing is user input. Let me just, yeah. And what we're going to get in user input, it's going to be URL. Okay, and then I'm just going to connect it like this. Just a second, like this. Okay, and after getting that URL, what we have to do is we have to pass that URL. I think we will be doing that over here as well, but it's good to add the step. Okay, after that, we will be passing it. Uh, Pass the URL. Okay, now after doing that, after passing the URL, what we have to do is we have to create a connection. Okay, like before creating connection we have to build request and then we have to create connection. So with these things, with the URL and the past URL, we have to build a request. So build request. Okay, now yeah, so we have to build a request after doing this. And how we are going to build request, it's something which I can't describe without code, so there will be nothing over here. Okay, now let's start with the step which will be next to build request. After that we have to make the connection with the server. So over here we have to make connection. Okay, now here there will be multiple things apart from just connection. So while we do the connection, after making that connection we have to check if the port is HTTP port, like 80 port is 44, or if it's 443, like it's a secure or it's not secure. Okay, we have to check that. So we are going to add yeah, so after creating the connection, what we have to do, we have to check whether it's um, if port uh, what I should add, secure or non-secure. Okay, and according to that we will create a connection, secure or not. Okay, after that just add it over here. Okay, yeah, so we'll check if it's secure or not. And after checking we have to send a request over here only. So we have to send a request which we have built. We'll get here request in input. Just a second. uh, we'll have the request over here. Okay, and then we'll add that request in send request and we'll send the request. Okay, we are going to send the request next. Okay, after sending the request we are going to receive the response and we are going to save that response. So receive the response and save it. Okay, after receiving the response and saving it, we have to return that response. So we are going to be returning that response. Now after we have the response on here in output, what we are going to do, we have to clean that response. So clean the response. Okay, after the, just a second, let me create and let me explain you. Okay, like what I just did here is like we received like it's like browser it's like browser asking for it's like browser asking us to enter a URL of a website, okay, and when once we enter the URL, it what it does, it's pass that URL, it will pass that URL, it will create a request, it will make connection to that server, okay, and it will do all these things, okay, it will check if it's secure or not, then it will add that request, we get that request, it will send the request, it will receive the chunk data which the server will send, okay, and it will just how we are going to build it, okay, now here in input we have response, okay, in input we have a response over here, okay, let's just keep this in mind that we have a response over here, okay, now we have to clean the response, just clean the response, clean that response, perfect, okay, we have to clean the response, and after cleaning that response, return the clean response, return the clean response like this, okay, after we have returned the clean response, what we have to do is we have to check that response, check that response, and after checking that response, okay, we have to understand whether we have to redirect or we have to show data, so data, show data rather than just data, show data which we have received in response, okay, or redirect, and maybe maybe it has sent us a cookie to save it and then give it again when we'll next request it, so maybe saved cookie, okay, so we have to keep that in mind as well, perfect, okay, let me just move it like this, yeah, okay, so when if it has sent us data in the response, then we don't have to do anything further, but if like if it has sent us a redirect message status code and cookie, then we have to do certain things as well, we have to create a url again and pass that url, okay, we have to create a url, and also one more thing, we have to save that cookie, okay, we have to do first url, okay, we have to create that url, we have to get that url, after that we have to create the url from the redirect, all the messages we'll understand that, okay, I may not be explaining too clearly right now because I don't know why, but yeah, so after that we'll create a url, and then from that url, what we will do is we'll we'll send that url to here, okay, input, but here we'll check if first we've got the url or not, okay, so from here we'll again pass it and then build request and all that stuff, we'll do all that again and again, okay, so we have to send it in send to user input, okay, user input, and from there After that, we will be creating a cookie as well. So cookie, and then we have to store that cookie inside header next time while doing the request. So send cookie to build request and save it in head and add it in headers. Okay, perfect. So let's just see the our whole plan. So this is how we create a plan for a huge project. This is not that huge project. If it would have been too huge project, then the plan like looked, to be honest, really messy and really very detailed. Okay, it's not even that detailed. So what we will do is we'll get the user input. Okay, then it will be a URL, or we will be having URL from the very beginning. Okay, or we'll be having the URL all along. Okay, so we'll get that URL, we'll pass that URL, we'll build a request, then we'll create a connection and we'll secure it or no, or we'll create not secure HTTP connection based on the port which will be of that URL. Okay, we'll send that request, we'll get a response, we'll return that response, we'll create, after that we'll clean that response. Okay, then return that response again, then we'll check that response. If it's 200, we'll show data. If it's a redirect message, then we'll redirect and we'll create URL and all that stuff. Okay, this is how the plan is looking. Now with this plan, we have to create and start doing our coding. So the but before that, let me just it's just going to be functions, and every function will be used inside main function. Okay, this is like going to be the main function. Okay, let me just connect this to everything over here, so we'll understand later that it's going to be connected to this every kind of every function down here, and we can move it like this. So it does look good, as well as it helps us understand how our project is going to be. It's nice to do some planning from in the beginning. Okay, let's get into the project now. Let's create first environment. Okay, virtual environment UV in it. So UV, for those of you who don't know, go research on Google, you'll understand it. It's nothing but it's same as doing pip. Okay, but it's 10x and 100x faster, or as they say so. Okay, so let's just UV in it, initialize it. It will create certain folders in on my right side. Okay, it has created. Now we have to add packages, but you can add packages by doing uv add and add the package name, like for example rich. But for this project, for now we don't need any packages, so we are not going to do that. It also creates a main.py file for us, so in case if you want to check, you can run it main.py. Okay, uh, here you go, we have got hello http client. And yeah, so what we are going to do is first here, let's not touch, but it's good to know what's there in main.py file. Okay, it's something like this. I'm going to create a folder called core, and in this folder there's all these functions are going to be in that folder. Okay, and main function will be just in that main file. Okay, let's start with the get user input. Okay, I'm going to um, user input.py file. Okay, and the name of the files should define what the file is doing. Okay, it's not that you are randomly giving any file any name and the file is doing the different stuff, and the different stuff which you have not given it the name of, right? So the file should have um, the name of what that file is doing. Okay, Now here what we are going to do is we are going to create a function get user input. Okay, here, so what we are going to do is we might have the URL, like as we guessed it here, like as we did it here, we might have the URL from check response again, and we'll be sending it to send user input. So it's good to have your user URL, so that's why we'll be sending it to URL after checked input over here. So I'm just getting over here. We'll check first if the URL is there or not. If the URL is already there, means the function is being run again second time, so that's why. If not URL, then we are going to take the URL and input. What we're going to ask is enter the URL. Okay, the user will enter the URL. After that we have to check. Okay, so if not URL, if the URL is not there, if not URL, okay, so if the URL is not there, what we have to do is we have to print a message like invalid URL, and let's just import system sys, and just do sys dot exit. So what will happen is if the URL is not there, we'll exit the program. Okay, why how we are going to run the program if the URL is not there, right? So let me just clear the terminal and just remove it from here. Okay, now if the URL is there, then we have to check if the URL is valid URL or not. So how we are going to check that? Every valid URL has HTTP or HTTPS in the beginning, right? So we can check it like that. So we have to we have to pass the URL first. For that we have to import a function from url lib dot pass, import a function called url pass. Okay, and we have to give it here url pass, and in that we have to pass the URL. So what this function gives us, let's just check it. Console.log, and yeah, sorry, not console.log, print and the URL. Okay, let me just copy a random URL. Let me just pause this and let me just copy a random URL and let me just paste that. Okay, so let's see if it works or not, but before that we have to import it in the main file. Okay, let's from core dot not core dot user input import get user input, and here we have to just get a URL. We'll get the URL in return. Okay, and get user input. Now we are now, as you know, this function is getting an argument. Okay, that's why we have to just define the URL over here, which will be none in the beginning because there will be nothing, and we have to pass that into here URL. There you go. Now we'll have your none. So if none is there, it will ask for user input. Otherwise it will check what's the URL, if the URL is legit or not, and yeah, that's how it will happen. Okay, let's run it. Clear uv run main.py, enter the URL. Okay, just a second. Yeah, enter the URL. Okay, sorry, I printed the URL itself, not the passed URL. Sorry, my mistake. Okay, let's run it again. Enter the URL. Now here you go, we have got the pass result. There are multiple things, so let's understand them one by one. Scheme means whether it's HTTP or HTTPS. Netlog, the main URL of the main path of the main URL, okay, which is http bin.org, and then we have the path, params, query, and fragment. Okay, there's also one thing we also call netlog as host name as well, so keep that in mind. We may use that later. Okay, Now as we know that we have this results. Okay, so we are going to check if passed url dot scheme is not in http, not is, just not in, okay, is, or https, then we have to print a result, and then we have to print invalid url again, and then sys.exit, right? So the url is not valid, there is no point in moving forward. That's why we are going to exit the program. If the url is legit, then we'll be returning the, okay, what we need. um, we are returning the url itself. Okay, then we are going to return the past url, and we also need to return the port. Okay, if so, port 80. If, let's just save it here. Okay, why not, why send it like that? Okay, port 80 if passed url dot scheme is equal to http, else is going to be 443. Okay, and then we'll return here port as well. Okay, so these are the three things we are getting in return from get user input function. So let's just show it here. Okay, get it here. Now the first function is done. Let's check if it's working correctly or not. I'm just going to print and all these things which we are getting in return, run. And for right now, just because I don't want to enter the URL over here again and again, I'm just going to paste the URL over here. Okay, so I'm just going to paste the URL over here. URL is equal to this URL. Okay, let's add the string. Just a second, let me add strings. Yeah, perfect. So now we'll be getting this URL. Okay, so I just don't want to wanted to enter the URL again and again. So yeah, let's clear and again run this. As you can see, um, we've got the return. We are not printing anything over here, so obviously the result is from here. We've got the URL itself, the full URL. After that, the past results till here, and the port, which is 443, because it's HTTPS, it's secure, so that's why we got port 443, right? Now we have to build the second function, which is, let's just go in my obsidian canvas. So now we have to build the request, so let's get into that. Here let's create request builder.py. Okay, here def build request, it will be getting uh, the parsed URL. Okay, and it will also be getting port. There you go. So let's just pass it from here. Okay, let me just for now print, add as empty statement like print. Yeah, and let me just import it from here, from core dot request request builder, like builder import. Okay, I enter code, sorry, that's why I was not getting the suggestion. We are going to import build request, and then just um, the will be getting certain results. So let's just assume we are we're going to get something in the result, and add build request, and we have to pass the past URL and the port. Okay, now let's walk over here. Request, so when we send, it's going to be um, it's going to be in bytes. Okay, but it's okay for now. Let's just request, and let's create an empty list. Okay, so how it works, even I don't know how we send requests. There's particular format on how we send requests, and I have that format. Okay, let me just show you. Okay, so let's see how we send how we build a HTTP request. So first thing, there should be get. Okay, and there's one more thing I have not added, that is in the end there should be rn backslash n, and it should be on every line, every end of every line. Okay, like this. um, okay, and like this, and in the end also there will be an empty line with just backslash r and backslash n. Okay, like this. So we send an HTTP request like this, we convert this into bytes and then send it, we encode it and then send it. Okay, so let's understand it. First there will be get, and there will be path and query. Okay, there will be version which is HTTP 101 and like that, and in the end there will be RNN. Okay, then in host there will be the URL of main URL of the website or the platform. Okay, then user agent, we enter, normally we enter Mozilla. Okay, 5.0, and this accept what we are going to accept from what we want to get in the response. In the return, it returns JSON response, it returns HTML, so we want HTML, so that's why we put this. After that, what language? English. Encoding this. Okay, so later we can encode the data like the body as we want. Okay, then connection close. Cookie, if there is any cookie, um, uh, it has told us to store, and then we can send that cookie as well. And here upgrade in secure request, like that. Okay, so this is how our request is going to be. Not exact, not exactly same, but yeah, just understand how we create it, and keep in mind that in the end of every line there should be r backslash n, and in the end there will be just backslash r and n. Okay, so keep this in mind. Let's get to work. Okay, let's build a request. Let me just get the check if the path is there, because sometimes in the return we don't get the path. Okay, but it's a later. Let's use f string and http. After that, even I have to look. No, first its method, which is get, and then let's just check. Even I don't know what that is. Okay, over here, what's the path and the query. Okay, the path, so let's, here as you can see we have the path over here. Okay, so what you have to do is parsed url dot path, and there is a possibility that the path could be empty. Okay, so we have to check if the path is empty or not. Like if the path is not there, we just have to add the empty slash, right? If like let's just store path, and then um, empty line, no, not empty line actually, parsed url dot path. If parsed url dot path is there, else we have to add empty backslash, right? And instead of just giving here parsed url dot path, we just have to give path. There you go. And there are also possibility that the query won't be there. Okay, so we have to check if the query is there or not, right? Okay, so let's check if, as you can see we are getting over here query as well. Okay, so if query past url dot query is there, then um, add this, then add the query over here as well. Okay, past url dot query, and the next thing is the version. Okay, after adding query, add space and add http backslash 1.1 again. Sorry, this is backslash, it was forward slash. Okay, forward slash backslash and then r backslash n. Okay, here I have added one r. Perfect. Okay, now if the query is not there, then let me just copy it, paste it over here, and then if the query is not there, we don't have to add query, we just have to add path. Okay, after that we have to give this. So I just have saved it somewhere, let me just get that. So rather than writing everything, I'm just going to paste this which I had written already. Okay, so I'm just going to paste that, and let me just explain you what this is. Okay, so first this is the, yeah, so I think I explained this much, so let's move forward with here. Okay, netlog, then as you can see over here, we have to add the user, the host, which will be the main name or main url of the website. Okay, so I added that, and then request the user agent Mozilla, accept, we are going to accept HTML and all that stuff. Just replace, hit control D. Okay, I already there. This is just one past url.netlog, and then we are going to check if cookie is there. Okay, there is also going to be one more thing, cookie, because as you can see in the end, let me just show you over here, we are also going to send build request in build request cookie, because we might receive the cookie later, so we are not going to write the function again and again. Okay, so we have to be prepared from the very beginning. That's why we did all this planning, right? So we might receive cookie, so here as well right now we have to get cookie and add none in it because there's nothing inside, and pass cookie as well. Okay, um, we do there's no use of port actually, we don't have to send port because I'm not using it over here anyway. Okay, let's, perfect. Yeah, perfect. Now we check if the cookie is there. If the cookie is there, we add cookie, we add that cookie in request by cookie. Okay, and everything, first letter is capital in everything, as you can see here, right? After that we add connection and close, and then we add the last backslash r and backslash n. As you can see, we had to add it over here. We mentioned it, I mentioned to you over here that we have to add backslash r and backslash n, right? So I did that, and now we have to return the request. Yeah, perfect. Along with that, yeah, nothing, there's nothing with that. Now let's just check if we are actually getting the request in return or not. Okay, or we are getting any error or something like that. We have to check every time we create a new function. And I forgot to I think I already did push this code to GitHub if I'm not wrong, but if I haven't already, I totally missed to push this code to GitHub. It's okay. Let's start it by now. Okay, it's okay. Let's just first get in it. Okay. Now the code, now the git is now the project is initialized. Now I have to add all the files. Yeah, I've added all the files. Now let's just commit, get commit message. What you're going to do is I'm going to add a message added get user input function and added request builder function. Okay, I'm just going to change it because the name is not like this. It's just user input. Okay, so I'm just going to add it like that. Here, there's no get or anything like that. User input and added get user input and request builder function. Perfect. And just uh, commit. But before committing anything, I just have to check whether it's proper or not. Otherwise, there will be no use in committing. Let's just run uv run main. Okay, as you can see, I've got an error. Okay, sorry, dot py. Okay, so we did build the request successfully, as you can see. Now I can commit. Yeah, so yeah, I've did committed. Let's clear the terminal. Now the next thing in line is we have to create a connection, make it secure and all that stuff. Okay, let's do that. So let me create a file by connection part dot py. Perfect. Connection.py. So in order to make connection, we have to import socket. For those of you who might not know, socket is an inbuilt function from Python, so you don't have to download it or do anything like that. Okay. Now after importing socket, let's just define the function and we'll later import anything else if needed. Okay. What I'm going to name it. So naming is sort of hard. Uh, let's just name it very simple as we did here. Let's just name it connect. Okay, connect, and connect is going to get the request and the port. Here we need port because we have to check if we are going to make the socket the object secure or not. So yeah. Okay, and yeah, that's all. Okay, so now we have to make the connection. So let's create sock and socket, and here we have to pass socket dot afinet. So what does this means? Like afinet means we are going to send IPv4 address. Otherwise there's one more address called IPv6. Okay, and after that we have to do socket dot upstream. There's something called stream, I don't know. Yeah, sock stream means we are going to make TCP connections. There's one more connection, I don't know the name of it, but TCP connection means it's reliable. It sends the data more securely. It doesn't lose the data while going through the router and all that. Okay, and in the end it asks if the data has received fully, and the server responds, yeah, I get it, dude, like that. Okay, now let me just import it over here from core dot connection part, import connect. Okay, now here we are going to get a certain result. Okay, connect, and we have um, connect to rather than just writing connect, let's write to connect and send. Connect, send, receive. It sounds good, right? Connect, send, receive data. Connect, Okay, let me just remove it, connect, send, receive, and just copy it here and paste it here. Okay, now we have to send the request which we build and the port. Perfect. And here again, after doing this, we have to set timeout. Sock dot set timeout. Max timeout is going to be 5 seconds. After 5 seconds, it will lose the connections. Now we are going to make a try block, because if we have to handle the error properly, the errors will get, we have to handle them properly. Okay, now we have to check if port is equal to 443, not triple equal to, just 2 equal to 443, then we have to import SSL. Now we have to import SSL. You can import according to your needs. That's what makes it legit that I've not already created this project and I'm doing this in front of you. Okay, SSL, and after that we have to create context and ssl dot create default context. So what this does is, like, we need certain settings, okay, to make it secure, like to make it secure and to make it useful, just so that we can send and receive securely everything. So I'm just getting the default settings here, okay, to wrap our socket properly. Now we have to get secure. Now we'll get secure socket over here, and we have to do it by like context dot wrap socket, and then we have to give here the socket object which we created and the host name. Now netlog and hostname are the same things. Don't worry, you can do netlog as well and you can do hostname as well. Okay, let me just try to, okay, let's use netlog, but I'm going to name it host, just host name. Okay, I'm just going to name it host is equal to, okay, we need the past data as well here. Okay, with request I need the past URL as well. Let's receive it over here, past URL. Perfect. Okay, and here past URL dot netlog, and here we have to give server host name and then pass the host. Now it's secure. Now we have to again use try block, and now we have to send the data. Okay, socket, secure socket, we have to use secure socket over here. Secure socket, so send. Now there is problem with send, and let me clear that later. And we have to send request dot encode. Okay, we have to encode it. We don't send in socket, we don't send raw request. We have to convert it into bytes and then we have to send it. So that's what encode does. Dot encode converts a normal text into a bytes and then we send it. Okay, now there's a problem with send, as I told you before, previously, that send doesn't necessarily sends the whole data. So that's why we have to use send all. So we are making sure that it sends it sends all data which we have in request. Okay, send request. After that, we are going to get a response in return. So I'm just going to save your response f string and like this. Okay, it's going to be b because it's going to be in binary, obviously. Okay, now we have to do something like while true, we have to check until it's not finished, right? While true, I have to write here, no, it's okay. While true, let me just think for some time what I have to do here. We will I will receive if okay, I have to check get chunk is equal to um, secure socket dot receive. Okay, we are going to take 4096 bytes out of it. Okay, we have to check if not chunk is there. It's not chunk, it's chunk. Okay, if chunk is not there, we have to break it. Okay, we have to break. Otherwise, if chunk is there, we have to add it in response plus equal to chunk, like this. Perfect, right? um, yeah. And finally, we have to close the connections. We have to close that connection as well. Finally, secure socket dot close the connection. Okay, because every time we create a connection, in the end when we are done, we have to close it. Now we have to do this for we have to check if it's not secure, if if it's running on port 80, then we have to just send the data like this, like that, without making it secure. Sock.send all, and in send all we have to send request dot encode, like this. Again, this procedure is same. Okay, I just had to use try over here. Perfect. I'm going to paste this. Okay, let's paste this all over here. Not all. Let's paste this one. Copy and paste. Now we have to finally make it. Finally, we have to close the connection. Socket dot close. So yeah, we have to close it like this. Now we might get error over here while doing the connection, like it can be a timeout error. Okay, so we have to check for that as well. Except time socket dot timeout error. Okay, there could be timeout error. We have to print um, we are going to print timeout error, and then just I guess return no. What I have to do is here, let's just return nothing. Okay, then again accept. Now accept exception as e. There might be some other error as well. Then we are going to print that error. Let me use app string, and then error that give let me just give that e and return. Okay, otherwise if there is nothing like error like that, let me just return the response. Okay, now we have now we possibly would have got the response. Now we possibly should get the response here. Let me just name it response so it will be clear. Okay, now let's check it out. Let me just copy this. I'm going to comment this out, and let's just check. Okay, enter the URL, hit enter. I should get the response in return. Okay, but I'm expecting no, I've got timeout error actually. I don't know. I really don't know what's the problem in here. But I got timeout error and none. That's really weird. Let me just um, quickly figure it out in front of you only. Okay, so let me just figure it out. What's the problem is here. Okay, in here we have to not just return anything, we have to return like the output should be same, it should not differ. Okay, let me just return the binary string, empty string, like this. Okay, and the problem is I think in the URL. Okay, I'm going to run again, and this time I have some other URLs which I'm going to paste. Let's check those URLs. So I have these URLs for, I've just pasted this URLs for checking, so I can check and test it. So let's just take one of these URLs like this and paste it in here. Okay, let's check if it still gives me timeout or it gives me output. Okay, again timeout error and empty string. So there is some problem. So there's some problem in that. And let me just check out. It's going to take some time actually. I think there's problem in here. Let me just try to print host. Okay, host is perfect. There's no problem in that. Then why the fuck I'm getting timeout error? I don't know. And this might be some problem, but I'm not able to figure it out. I'm not being able to figure it out. Just a second. Um, everything looks kind of perfect, you know. Let's see if I'm getting. Let me just check if I'm sending everything perfectly or not. I hope I'm sending everything perfectly. Let's check every other thing. Like if I'm getting host, that means pass.url is perfect. Let's check request and port as well. Okay, let me run it again. Paste the URL. Okay, so the request is there, the port is there. Again, I've got why the fuck it is happening? I don't know. Okay, I'll try sockets and all. I'm just encoding it as well, saving it, and maybe the problem is in the URL. Okay, let me just try to paste another URL which we have. Okay, otherwise we'll be just wasting our time over here only. Okay, now again if I got timeout error, then I certainly did something wrong over there. Okay, now here I think we have to ask the AI what's wrong. Okay, I think there's something socket sock. Okay, so like there should be something wrong over here only. So okay, I'm using secure socket over here as well. I just have to use sock. Okay, now yeah, let's check it again. That should be the problem, but that shouldn't have been the problem because it was here, but and we are running this part, right? So I created a context. We made it secure. We made the connection secure. I gave it a sock and the host. We try secure send all request.encode. Actually, rather than doing it over here, okay, encoded. Let me just encoded. Okay, let me just do one thing. When we send it, let's just encode it over here only. Okay, now just that I don't have to encode it in here. Okay, let me just remove this part of encoding. Now let's check it. Okay, let me just paste this URL. Let's see. Again, I fucking got the timeout error. Okay, let me just a second. Let me just check it again. Oh, okay. I'm really sorry. I just forgot to do one thing, that is made the connection itself. How dumb fuck I am. I don't know how possible I could possibly miss that. Before making the connection, okay, I have to socket dot connect. We have to connect to the host name and we have to pass the port. Now it should work. It will damn work. But damn it. Let's pass the URL. Okay, I'm not passing the URL itself. Okay, let me just go to user input, copy this, paste it. Now it should work. Yeah, there you go. We have got the response back. What I did is, the fucking mistake I did is that I forgot to connect to the website itself, okay, the host itself. That's why. So first we have to connect it, sock.connect, and then only we'll be able to send data, right? Here we just made an object. Okay, we are not trying to connect to anything over here. We try to connect in here. Okay, that's perfect. Now it's kind of working, and my it's recording, and OBS Studio is also recording. Let's move to the second step, that is, so now it's time to create the clean the response function. Okay, let's get into the coding stuff. Now I'm going to create a file, response cleaner dot py. Okay, now we have to clean the response here. uh, Clean, let's create a function named clean response. Okay, it'll take just one input, ask, that will be the clean response itself. Now I'm going to print the response. Okay, why? Because I want to know how the response is there, like what's the pattern in the response. So just so that we can pass it, we can break it into multiple parts. Okay, let's go to, let me just remove all these files. I'm going to do let's just one more commit, get add all. I'm going to do one more commit. Okay, get in the working copy of main.py. Okay, it's okay. Now I'm going to do one more commit, get commit m added um, connection part file. Yeah, perfect. Now let's just work on this file, main.py. Okay, I have to send, let me just import it first from core dot um, response cleaner, import uh, clean response. Okay, and after that we'll get certain result in return, that is clean the response, and then send then we have to send that response which you're getting from here, right? Okay, let me just run it. And for default, just a second, for default, just so that I don't have to enter anything again and again, I'm going to give this URL. Okay, let's go run this. I'm printing some stuff, I think. Control print. Okay, this is okay. Here also I'm not printing anything. Connection part, I'm printing a lot of stuff, I think. Okay, this is on, yeah, here. I just want to remove this. Anything else? No. In main file, I'm printing response, but I don't want to print that. Yeah, there you go. Now let me just, yeah, we've got the response now. As you can see, this is, I think, just a second, let me just check till here. I think the this is header part, this is header part, and from here it's body. Okay, I think, and the header part and the body part is being separated by this, right? So let's just do one thing. Header part and header part and body is equal to, what I have to do is response. Okay, response dot split, it's a binary, it's in binary, sorry, it's in bytes. So then backslash r backslash n backslash r backslash n. So you can copy it from here and paste it directly. I just wrote it. Okay, and then this is the first time, right? It happened to be here on the first time, for the first time. So just first time. If there's something like this again, we don't want to split it there. We just have to split when it's when this thing comes for the first time. So that's why I've added one. Now let's check if I'm getting header part. If I'm getting header part, then I'll be getting the body as well. Let's run. As you can see, I've got the header part till the, yeah, till allow credentials true. As you can see, allow credentials true. Okay, so it's working. Now we have to work on body, will be whole. Okay, body is full. We don't have to work on body. We have to work on header part. From header we have to separate now the main status version and the reason and the headers itself. Okay, so I think, and this is the main, that header part, this is the headers part, and this is the status version part, status version part, and these two things are being separated by one slash and one slash r and one slash n, right? So now we it's time for that. um, let's do first part. Let's just first part and headers, and then header part dot split. Okay, um, the light went off, that's okay. We have to one slash n backslash n, there you go. And just for the first time only, if there's something on the second time, we don't have to split there. We just have to split when it comes for the first time, right? Now let's just print first part. Let's see if it's giving me error or it's printing properly. First part, let me just clear the response. I've got an error, so that means there's some problem. What's the problem? What's the problem? Okay, expected to got one, not enough values to unpack. Just a second. Okay, but first when we did this, we never got the error, right? There's some problem. Let me just try to print body. Okay, when I did this before, there's nothing happened, right? Why now it's giving me an error? Okay, response are split and expected value error, not enough values to unpack. Expected to got one. It's only one Okay, let me just try to, okay, let me just try to print body only. Let's run it. I'm coding empty string. That means, am I getting response? Okay, I have to print. I think I'm not. Yeah, that's why it's not working. Just now my internet went off because we don't have electricity anymore, and that's why it's not working. That's why I'm not getting response. Perfect. Now I have to wait till the light gets, till the light till the light comes, and then we'll start the video again if I'm not wrong. But for now I just am offline. I'm totally offline. The electricity went off. It's okay. Let me just I know that I'm right. Okay, at least I know I'm right. The problem is that we don't, so you have to have internet in order to do this thing, otherwise it will not happen. Okay, header part, just a second. Header part, here copy. Yeah, there you go. Now we have first part. It will work because I am damn sure it will work. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to take the version status code, and we have to take the reason from the first part dot split. As I know, there was empty spaces, so like this, and we just have to do this for 2 times. Okay, because there were three values will be there in here. In first part, first will be the version http, second will be the status code 200 or any other status code, and third will be the reason might be of 2 words, like something like invalid, something invalid error, invalid URL. Okay, it's 2, and there will be space between them, so we don't have to cut that, we don't have to split there, so it's just 2 times. Okay, now we have to get headers and store them. So first, I don't think I'll be able to do this because I don't know how I don't know how I'm getting the response here. Just a second, let me just clear it. Perfect. Now let's just do one thing for lines, and we have to split headers dot split. And how I'm going to split them, there's one \r \n in between every header, so I'm going to split it based on that. Okay, now we have lines in here, and I'm going to create an empty dictionary of headers. Now we have to do for line in lines. Okay, now what we got in lines is, like, there are multiple things. Okay, like as we did in here, let me show you. The response of headers will be same as this one. Okay, so now we have this, and everything is being separated like this by \r \n. So we have to we split it on that basis, and we created a like we just a second, let me just show you. Okay, we stored that in lines, so now they are splitted by comma. Okay, like every header is splitted by the comma, and for every each of that we are going to loop through them. And then there is one more thing, that there is this colon right there, right? As you can see, for every header there is this colon. So now based on this colon, we have to split it. Okay, let's do that. But we have to check first. There might be one case where the colon is not there. Okay, so if we have to check if b colon in line, then only we have to move forward. Okay, headers, and we have to give it line dot split. No, we have to first name and value line dot split. We have to split based on what? This colon. Okay, and yeah, that's how. Now the thing is, we have to store them. Headers, and here going to be name dot strip, and again we are going to then value dot strip. Okay, like this. Why strip? Because there could be empty spaces before or after that header, so we have to clean that. That's why we used strip. But before sort of cleaning that, we have to do one more thing, that is encode it. So I'm going to use encode, so decode. We did encode it while we sent it the request. Now we have to decode it. Dot decode, and then we have to strip it like that. Okay, now we have to send it again. Okay, return. Now let's return version dot decode it first, then return the status code int status code dot decode, and then we have to reason dot decode, and then we have to headers, or we have to return the headers as well, and body dot decode. Perfect. We have to we are returning it in we are returning it as tuple. Okay, now let's just let's just print the result. Okay, let me run it. Yeah, again I'm going to get internet, because sorry, again I'm going to get the error. I'm to get an error because I don't have internet. So yeah, I won't be able to do anything after this, because I don't know whether I'm getting the result properly or not. So we'll cover this later, like maybe in the evening, because I don't know, let's see. um yeah, I think we've covered till here. Let's just see where we have uh, where we have reached. Okay, so now we have created this user input, we have created this build request function, connection function, clean the response function. Now we have to create this last function, that is check the response. Okay, now it will either show data or it will redirect and save cookie. Okay, so a very tiny part of the project is remaining, but as you can see, it's looking beautiful, isn't it? So I'm using canvas. If I have not said earlier, let me just tell you again. And yeah, you can use it too, because it's for free. Because it's for free, right? Everyone should use it. Now yeah, this is how it's looking. Okay, so to complete this project, I'm using my phone's Wi-Fi, my phone's hotspot. So let's just check now whether it runs or not. Okay, I've still got an error. Expected too many values to unpack. Expected two. Are you okay? Let me just check if there's something in lines or not. Okay, print lines. Before doing any of this, let's run this and let's check if there's anything inside lines or not. Okay, I've got an error. Again, I've got an error. Let me just print response over here, because it might be because I'm using my phone's my phone's hotspot. I can't be for sure. Okay, no, I'm getting the response now. Okay, I've got the response and I've got the lines as well. So I think now I think it will work, and it should work actually. Let's see. Let's see. I'm hoping it to work. Let's check. I might get an error as well. Okay, there's some problem in here. Lines. Okay, no, it's perfect. Lines in every line. Let me just print line here. Let's check out what's the problem. Um, I really don't know what the problem is. Print lines. Okay, let's just. I've printed the lines. See if I. Oh yeah, I've got a line now. Okay, now I have what I have to do is I have to give it a space here right now because this. I think because there are multiple colons here and after every colon there is also the space. Okay, let's see now. Let's see now. Still it's not working, and I really don't know why. Okay, result response. Are you fucking mad? I changed that. Line dot um, line dot split. Okay, but I'm trying to split just colon. Yeah. Now I think I should not get any sort of error because yeah, as you can see now I'm not getting any error. Okay, now it's working. Here what I'm going to do is just print the first thing I'm getting in the result. Okay, let's run it. Yeah, here I think I'm in clean response. I'm trying to print the lines as that's it. Let's clear again and run the file again, and now I'm hoping to get HTTP. Yeah, now it's working. Now we've got the result. Now the last function which I have to create, sorry, now the last function which we have to create is this check that response. Okay, let's create it now in code. Response checker.py. Okay, def check response. Now it will have the response, the result. Okay, cleaned response. We'll have version, status code in there. After that we'll also be having the reason and headers. After that we'll also be having the body from cleaned response. Perfect. Okay, let me just import it from core dot response checker, import check response, and here I'm just going to store it as cleaned response and return. No, here we are going to get the result checked. In the result we are going to get a checked response. Okay, and we have to call the check response function and give the cleaned response. Let me just remove this and print checked response. Checked response. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, let me go to here. Now first thing which we have to check here is the status code, right? If status code is equal to 200, now the day now we have got, if the status code is equal to 200, that means we have got the data. and I'm going to like have to return one particular same thing, one particular thing. So let's just create a checked data dictionary and we'll send it like this. Okay, now I'm going to return that checked data like this. Okay, and the next status code I possibly can get is could be if LF status code could be equal to status code could be in 301, 302, 303, 304, 305, 306, 307. Okay, these are all redirect status codes. Let's just keep doing coding. Okay, now if the status code is that, what we have to return is whether the redirect, we have to add a one thing like whether the redirect is true or false. Okay, in checked response, we have to add redirect as true, so we'll know whether the redirect is true or not. Okay, the next thing is we have to add the URL. If it's path, we have to add path. And next thing is um, one more thing I think I have to return, which is cookie. Of course, cookie. Okay, now we have to check if no, actually location. We have to get that location. Headers dot get. Now location might be the L could be in uppercase and the L could be in lowercase as well. So we have to think of both possibilities over here. Okay, headers dot get location. Okay, after that there might be empty spaces before and after it, so we have to just strip it. Okay, if location is there, then location is equal to location dot strip. Now we have to check if it's full URL or not. Okay, now if location starts with HTTP, it's a full URL. Okay, so I have to just do checked data and full URL and give the full location. Otherwise, it's not full URL, so otherwise it's path. So I have to do checked check data and give just the path and enter that give that location. Right, now we are done here. Now we have to also get the cookie. Right, now let's just store the cookie inside over here. Cookie headers dot get headers dot get. Now again, first letter could be capital. Okay, it could be uppercase, so we have to think of that possibility. Cookie or headers dot get set cookie. There you go. And now what we have to do is um, we have to pass that cookie. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we are going to use simple cookie, which comes from, I think, from http dot cookies import simple cookie. Yeah, there you go. Now here what we have to do is um, I'm going to give it set cookie name because yeah, set cookie. Now let's, if set cookie is there, then we have to do we have to create a cookie object, okay, of simple cookie, and then we have to pass that cookie dot load and pass that cookie. Let's check now whether I'm getting the cookie or not. um, okay, for key and morsel in cookie dot items, let's print key and morsel. Okay, let's just check whether I'm getting any sort of error or not. Okay, I've got an error. Cannot unpack non-iterable from object. Okay. Okay, as you can see, there's, now it should work. You have to understand how to read an error as well. Okay. Now the thing is, I'm getting none in return. That's because, just a second, let me show you, because I'm just giving one, okay, I'm not giving a URL which is redirectable URL. So let's just see now, because now this URL will give me the redirect status code. Again, I have got none. That's something new actually. Let's see, print data. Let's check again. Okay, I've got none. It's it's truly weird actually. Let me just print status code. Okay, I'm using my phone's hotspot, so it's not going to be any problem. Okay, so yeah, I think it's perfect. So I'm not getting here. Let me just try to print hello. If I've got hello, then I'm getting this elif thing. Yeah, elif. Now why the way I'm not returning anything yet? Return hello. Okay, let's just see now. Let's check now whether I get, okay, the cookie is not there. Shit, the cookie is not there, right? So just a second, I think I have one more. This URL should have the cookie, but it doesn't. That's strange. Let me just let's just try to, okay, let me just try this URL again. I'm not getting the cookie. Okay, let me ask ChatGPT for a certain URL which will give me a redirect status and which will give me a redirect URL, and also give me a cookie. Okay, and let me come to you again. Okay, so it gave me the same as the previous one. Okay, as you can see, I have not changed anything. It gave me the previous the URL which you already had. So I think this URL is perfect. So there's something wrong. Let me just clear everything because there's a lot of mess around here. Okay, let me just control dot F4 and clear everything. I'm going to just keep a main.py file and the last file which you have, which is response checker. Okay, now I think cookie is not there. Okay, let me just try to print set cookie. Yeah, Let's go. Now the possibility is we should get set cookie. We should get a cookie, but if we did not, then okay. Let me just try to print header here. Headers dot get. Okay, headers. Just print headers, not get. Let's see if the cookie is there or not. If the cookie is there, and let's check what the name is there for that cookie. Okay. Now the cookie is not there actually. As you can see, we have not got any cookie, so that means it's not giving me any cookie. Okay, so the URL is flop. So we have reached till check response function. Yeah, perfect. So my voice might sound different because I just woke up now. Okay, like it's early in the morning, and every day early in the morning my voice changes somehow. But it's okay. Yeah, it's good to start early. But let's not waste time on that because our time is really very precious. We can do much more exceptional things in that wasted time. So let's just get into creating the project. So let me just zoom in. I'm not sitting on my desk, so it's kind of somehow weird for me. Just a second, let me just make everything perfect, and then we'll get started. Let's just put it under here. Let's just make it a side, and yeah, let's go. So what you did tell them is, let's check this if it's working. I should get key and mouse. uh, I'm trying to print cookie here as well. Let's just yeah, let's just run it. Uv run main.py. I hope it will run without giving any fucking error. And I hope that YouTube won't block me because I just said that. It's okay. Let's. I'm not getting cookie because there's not any cookie inside this header. Okay, let's go. Let me just ask another URL to ChatGPT and let's check if that URL will give me cookie or not. Okay, just a second. Okay, now actually I understood where did I fucked up. Okay, so it was here. No, not in this file actually. I think it was in request builder. Yeah, here. It's perfect over here as well. Okay, we did not fucked here. Okay, I was wrong. Let me just recheck for just a second. Yeah, actually I was right. I fucked up here only. Just a second. Response builder. Yeah, here what we did is we checked if there is queries there. Okay, if query is there, we put the query in the inside the request. But again we are overriding it over here, and we are changing the whole um, request path. Okay, so it should not be that. Okay, I have to put else over here, and then I have to put it inside that. Now hopefully it should work. Otherwise it was just overriding the path. That's why I was not getting the cookie. Okay, now in just a second, in here, let me just remove all the files I've opened. Okay, and let's go to response checker alone. Here I have to do morsel.value. Okay, yeah, perfect. Let's check now. Okay, I'm going to paste it. Just a second. Where is my get user input.py, and I have to copy this path and just paste it over here and hit enter. Okay, now let's check if I'm getting cookie or not. Yep, as you can see, we are getting set cookie session ABC123, and yeah, we are good to go. As you can see, session and ABC. Isn't that perfect? Let me just remove all the print statements which I've added till now, because it's getting so weird to look inside the terminal right now, and I don't like clutter and mess. So let's remove set cookie, let's remove print hello. The data should I'm not going to remove this because this is not going to run anyway, because it's inside is 200. Okay, and we are not giving right now status code 200 directly. So yeah, there's something inside request builder as well. No, not a, okay, here I'm sending encoded, so I don't have to do that. No, yeah, it's perfect. Response cleaner, yeah, here we have to remove. In connection as well, I think I'm printing something. There you go, I thought so. Perfect. My nose is right now running, but it's okay. We can get the work done because I have to post this video today. Okay. There's no exception of that. Exception for that. Okay. It doesn't matter how, but I have to post this video today. Okay, I'm getting the cookie right now. That's perfect. Let's go to response cleaner. No, response checker. And here, instead of doing it like this, now that we are getting the cookie, certainly here just I'm going to do one thing. uh, let's remove this. To be honest, let's remove everything, and inside check data I'm going to store it as cookie, and in that we'll pass mosul dot value. Perfect. And there should be one more thing. Okay, I've already passed the path inside it if I'm not wrong. So yeah, we're good to go. Yeah, we're good to go. Now the next thing is there will be another response check, which will be elif status code equal to 401. I think, let me just check, even I'm not sure about status codes. Okay, so there is not 401, it's going to be 404 error, page doesn't found. So here we are going to print page doesn't exist. Okay, and then we are going to return we are going to return, what are we going to return, just a second. Here also I don't have to directly just give mosul.value. Here I have to use f string. First I have to give the key itself, and then I have to give the mosul.value. Okay, keep in mind mosul.value like this, and then I have to break this, break it, and now let's return the check data like this. Okay, perfect. Now what I have to do is, here after giving the status code, I have to do one more thing, like in check data we have to add redirect is equal to false. Okay, and then return the check data, because we are return whenever you run a function, that whole function should return one thing. Like here we are returning check data, it's one type. Okay, it's dictionary that we are returning, so in the output you will be expecting one type of value only. Okay, so otherwise it will throw you an error. Okay, else we have to check, otherwise it will be internal error. Okay, and internal error, and here also we have to do the same thing. So I'm just going to copy this and we are going to paste it over here. Perfect, right? And here everything is working perfectly. Now let me just check it over here in main.py. Okay, okay, let's go, let's run this. Like okay, I've got redirect true path. In path we have cookie and session abc. Perfect. Yeah, it's working perfectly. Now main work is in main.py file. Okay, here what we have to do is we have to run these functions again and again. So instead of what we are going to do is we are going to use while loop, because the thing is here if we got status code, let's say um, 302. Okay, so it's giving me redirect. Okay, so that's why I have to run these things again and again. So that's why what I'm going to do is here I'm going to add a while true. Okay, let me show you what I'm doing. Just a second. Put this function inside it. Perfect. Now what will happen is these functions will run anyway. Okay, like first when I'll run main.py, what will happen, this function will run. After that, while true, this will run, and here I'm getting a response, so everything will run perfectly. Here what I have to do now is if I've got uh, redirect. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just let me just save it in redirect. Redirect is equal to checked response dot get and redirect. Okay, just a second. What I have to do is if redirect, okay, just a second, if not redirect, then we'll break it over here. For now let's just break it. Again we have to check, otherwise for cookie as well, cookie equal to, I hope I'm sending it like that. Yeah, I'm sending it like that. Cookies will be equal to checked response dot, I'm not, checked response dot get cookie. And okay, first I have to check if there is, yeah, I can't directly do that. If uh, checked response dot get redirects, then we'll go and do redirect equal to true, rather than just pasting it like this. True, perfect. Here also first we have to check if there is cookie or not, otherwise it will throw an error. If checked response dot get cookie, then only run this function, otherwise it won't. Okay, now we have the cookie inside cookie. Now there is one more thing we have to take, we have to check if there is full path or not. So if checked response dot get full URL. So I'm going to say full URL inside full URL checked response dot get full URL. Perfect. Otherwise, else what we'll do is we'll create a base URL first. What is base URL? Base URL means the main, like if Google, like google.com, and there is path and that's query, so this is full URL. Okay, there will be scheme in the beginning as well. Okay, and if it is like the scheme like https and google.com, then that's just base URL, okay, of that website. So what I have to do is, now I have the uh, passed URL over here. So what I'm going to do, create f string passed URL dot scheme. Just a second. Okay, now I'm ready to create a video. I just had a running news, but yeah, that's not your concern, I know. Okay, so I'm just gonna put this colon and forward slash to forward slash, and here again we are going to put passed URL dot netlock. Perfect. Yeah, perfect. And now we have to join that personal base URL. So for that, I'm just going to import one thing, which is URL, which is I'm going to import from URL lib only. URL lib dot pass import URL join. So we import this, and here we'll join it. URL join. Again, I'm going to save it inside full URL. Okay, sorry, full URL join, and the first thing is we have to give base URL, and the next thing is path. So we have the path, uh, checked response dot get and path. So we have the path as well. Now we have all things. We have to pass now that full URL. Okay, rather than giving it full URL, I'm just gonna change it to URL, because that's what we are passing over there. Okay, now here we have to run this. Okay, let me just check if, let me check again. Okay, if redirect and cookie and base URL, then run get user input and pass the URL, and again I'm going to store this thing like this. Okay, now I hope it will work. Now here the thing is, if not redirect, then we have to do something, right? Let me just check what we are returning over here. Not yet, we are not returning anything yet, so I have to return all these things. Okay, print, no, not print, check data, check data that version equal to version. I'm just gonna copy paste this for multiple times, and here, if you're wondering what I did, I just control shift and down arrow, sorry, not toss down, okay, alt shift down arrow, yeah, I did alt shift down arrow, reason, then header, and then body. Yeah, perfect. So I'm going to return these. Okay, let's just do one thing. I'm going to just um, do one more thing here, check data. Okay, let's not do that first. I'm just going to print over here, print checked response. Okay, here we are also going to count max attempts, going to restrict max attempts and how much request happened yet. Okay, how much request has happened yet. So let me just track that as well. Max request will be equal to 10 and count, let's keep it 0 for now. Okay, request count. Now every time, okay, here now there is one more thing I have to do. Every time after the before running this, I have to check. Okay, check response redirect to here. Let's just check. Okay, let's just check if request count is greater than max request, then break. Perfect. Yeah. And here one more thing, here also we'll do one more thing, that is we'll update the count, request count. Okay, request count will be plus is equal to 1 and we'll print let's just print it over here. Use f string requested and then we'll use request count and times. Just let's just put it in parenthesis. Perfect. Now here, otherwise I have to print something. Okay, we'll print all done and then we'll print the whole data which we've got in return from the from the web server. Print version. I'm not using rich here, otherwise you can use rich and you can make it much more colorful and much more presentable, but I'm not doing that because it will take a lot of time and I don't want that. So here we'll print version which I am returning in checked response. Version, and there's a lot of things. Version and then status code. After that I'm also returning the reason. The recording with OBS Studio is still recording my laptop. That's good. That's good. So I don't have to fear about losing the video which I've recorded. We are going to print headers as well, and the last thing is body. Okay, now hopefully this should run properly if I'm right, and we should get everything properly. Let's see. Okay, request one times and we have got. Okay, something wrong happened. I did break it over here, right? Okay, there's some. Let's check. Okay, we are going to solve this problem together rather than just me solving it in the back end. We are not making this much request till now, but let's see. Okay, there is problem. Okay, there is some problem. We might not. I think we are not getting. No, we did get into here. After this, it's going again to here, and then it's giving request and passed URL, cookie and passed URL. Sorry, but the thing is, what we are getting through. Okay, then it's moving here. If not redirect is equal to true, break it. Okay, and it's not even breaking it because maybe it's not going here. Max attempts. I think I have to check it over here before anything else. Okay, and check response. Then we are storing the cookie. We are creating URL. If I redirect and cookie and URL request account, and then it's, let's see what if you're getting past URL or not. Okay, even I don't know what's happening right now. Let me just check another URL which we have multiple URLs over here. This URL is giving one redirect. Let's check this one. Okay, still the problem is there. Line 18 response connect and receive request parts URL request port. Just a second, let me check. Okay, I'm going to do one minor change over here. That is here. We are going to check it directly. If redirect is true, we are going to put everything inside that. Okay, and now here we are going to store the cookie over here outside, and let's just put this inside like this. There's nothing going to be outside of while loop. Let's just delete it. Okay, and if it's not true, then here if we are going to do redirect checked response dot, okay, we have to check status code, past url dot status code equal to 200. Then we'll print this data. Okay, and here we have to do this, but okay, let me just I don't have to check this. Okay, and this will go in here like this. Sorry. It's going to be very simple. It's just me who's complicating things. Okay, let me just remove this. Okay, and here after this, let's just create a gap, some gap here. I'm going to print. Okay, just a second. I'm going to print here f string request happened a request count, and here I'm going to do times. Okay, so it will print how many times requested happened. Okay, after that I don't have to do this over here, just directly. Okay, and here we have to, after this, have to run continue. So it will it won't go over here, it will directly continue with while loop again, and again it will happen. Okay, so here I have to do one more thing. I have to check if request count is greater than max request. Okay, then I have to do print too many redirect request, and then we are going to break it. Perfect. Okay, if we don't have to do this, actually what we have to do is check response dot get status code, and then if 200 we have to print this again after. Otherwise we have to directly print all done like this. Okay, now I hope it will work. Other if even now if it didn't work, we have to ask ChatGPT what happened. Okay, we have to take help of AI, otherwise we are gonna be stuck over here forever, but we don't, because we don't want that. So let me just run it. Okay, it's still happening. So what is wrong? Sorry guys, but I know I'm recording a video right now. It's too hectic. Okay. Let me just remove this. Okay, and let's go through all functions again. Okay, now I understood the goddamn problem. So the problem is we are running like this. Okay, that's why it's giving me too much redirects again and again and again. Otherwise, we are correct if I'm not wrong. Okay, but I did some mistakes, like Let me just show you. No, actually, this is not mine. Yeah, here. Yeah. We did some mistakes. Like here, we are printing directly. So let me just print this URL in my terminal, and I'm going to copy this, paste it over here, copy this, paste it over here, copy this, and just a second, it's done. Okay, instead of all done, I'm going to print request finished. Like in my case, the thing is, I don't have to ask ChatGPT for code, but I have to ask ChatGPT for things like this. Like, what should I print now? Okay, I don't get these kind of things in my mind immediately. Like, what should I print? So I asked ChatGPT, this is happening. What should I print? Like that. So it said me print request finished, but the status code is not 200. Okay, over here also I did some mistake. Like, I s- I spelled it wrong, but it's okay. I spelled it wrong, but it happens. Over here, okay, everything is perfect right now. If I'm not wrong. Let me just copy this, remove this. Let's run. Enter the URL one time. Okay, now no. Okay, I have to break it. I have to break it over here. Otherwise, it will run forever. There you go. Now let's check it. I hope it will run. Chorus, yeah. All done. Okay, here you go. All done. Then I've got the data which the server sent us, which is a version HTTP, status code 200, reason okay, headers, and then we've got the body. Yo. So we have completed the project on our with ourselves. Okay, we have not used AI, and yeah, that's great. Okay, and there's one more thing I have to say, that is in the description you'll see what are the skills we learned from doing this project. Okay, and based on that, I'm going to give one particular project in the description which you have to solve. Because if you just watched me, and if you just wrote the code with me, it's not going to be useful, because I'm writing it, I'm using my brain, and you're not. Okay, so for that reason, I'm going to put what are the skills we learned in the description, and the next problem which will be based on those skills. Okay, it will be real world project, and the thing is, you have to solve it within a day. Okay, and I hope that from tomorrow the series will be daily. I'll be putting projects daily. The videos will be coming out daily, and yeah, I hope you learned a lot of things from this project. In the beginning, I wasn't explaining very accurately, I would say. But the thing is, whenever I code, I get distracted, and I don't like to speak when I'm coding. But I have to change that habit, I guess. I have to change that habit, I guess. So I will. And yeah, that's all. We did a great job here. And OBS Studio did a great job here by not deleting that video when my laptop went off. It's great. Okay, and I hope you understood how to do planning and all that stuff. Um, it looks cool, doesn't it? Yeah. Bye.